Every day is a new beginning. Shine your light. It's a day and the world is waiting. Move along to the song, singing in your soul. Feel the beat, clap your hands, let's take control. All you need, all you want, are you ready to find your way? 'Cause every day is a new day.
Welcome to Wisconsin Family. I'm Justin Riley.
And I'm Jessa Jeremiah, and we are seated here at the fantastic True Laser in Madison.
Yes, it's a great place. Lots of neat stuff to look at, and they've got some really good deals coming up this holiday season.
They sure do. And believe it or not, this is the time of year that you want to get hair removal because you have, you're not out in the sun. It's actually better for you. So,
really? So being out in the sun makes it more not as good?
I think they're going to explain it to us later, but being in the sun is actually, you want to avoid it when you get hair removal. So you do it now in the winter. You prepare for the summer.
Interesting. Never knew that. Never knew that. Well, we've got a lot of great guests today. We're going to be joined, we're going to be talking a little bit about outdoor cold things that you can do, like
some activities. Yes.
So Tyrol Basin is going to join us here, and he's going to talk a little bit about how it's finally cooled off a little bit, enough for them to make snow.
I bet you didn't know I used to be a snowboarder.
No kidding.
Sure enough.
Well, you grew up in Minnesota.
Wait, that's what you do.
Yeah, that's what you do.
That's right. Yeah. And we're going to be talking about another really cool activity. This is one that is new for me, actually, but we're talking about paintball. The Siege will be here.
Doug's a great guy, and he just always brings in, he's very, very knowledgeable. Probably one of the most knowledgeable people I've met in terms of paintball. So
I think we're going to learn some things that are new. We always do, don't we?
We always do. He's got some great gear that he's going to show off, too. So
he sure does. Well, that'll be next.
Coming up right here on Wisconsin Family. Stick around.
Welcome back to Wisconsin Family. We are still here at fantastic True Laser. We're at the Madison location today, and we're going to chat with the owner and one of the ladies here a little bit later. So we look forward to that, huh?
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, right now we're going to talk about a perfect topic now that the weather has finally gotten a little colder. If you are a ski bunny or you like to snowboard, you're going to like our next guest. This is Josh Faber.
Ski bunny? Is that a real thing?
That's a thing, yeah. At least
I've heard of the Bunny Hill. That's where I usually am on, but anyway.
Nice. Well, we're going to talk about the ski bunnies and the snowboard bunnies of Wisconsin, whether you know what that is or not.
Okay.
Josh Faber is the general manager at Tyrol Basin, and it's exciting that it's cold for you, isn't it?
It is very exciting. It's been a very odd winter, to say the least. So these past couple nights have been cold. We've been able to make snow around the clock, continuing even right now. So I mean, it's very welcome, that's for sure.
Yeah, and talk to us a little bit about that, because we've had such atypically warm weather. Has that affected you negatively, I would guess, right?
It has. It's been really tough. I mean, the sense to where, we're unable to make snow when we want, things like that. So that's been hard, but the positive side of things is we've been able to capitalize when it has been cold. So we have been open, every weekend since Thanksgiving, trying to give our customers something to ski on, because the demand, they want to come out and play, and it's been difficult, but we're trying. We've got it out there, so it's
Who would have thought that it would be tough to find ski weather in Wisconsin in December?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
I would have never have guessed. That's
I know.
Right.
Strange.
So, aside from the fact that the temperatures just recently dropped, what's new and exciting at Tyrol Basin this year?
The biggest new thing would be we're installing a new 500-foot magic carpet. So it's essentially a conveyor lift. So our beginners and families, all they have to do is necessarily stand on it, and it takes you to the top of the beginner area. In the past, we had rope toes and handle toes, and skiing and snowboarding, it's a difficult sport, so we really want to make it as easy as possible for our customers. So it's really, really going to open that door for these people.
Yeah,
very cool.
Absolutely. Now, this may be you maybe already answered this question, but in addition to that, what other things do you think kind of set you apart from other resorts in the Midwest? Obviously, being in this temperature, there's a couple different places you can go. But you guys do some things uniquely.
So I took the position late summer. So the first thing I noticed when I got to Tyrol Basin is, it's not the biggest ski area, it's not the fanciest ski area, but it's got a sense of charm that you normally don't get at some of these other places. The lodge isn't huge, but it's a 100-year-old barn, and it's got character. When you get there, you feel like you're at a ski area and you're outside of Madison, and that's something I think is really special.
Yeah. And I hear you have killer sandwiches.
We do. We do.
Really, I've not tried the sandwiches yet, so.
Word on the street.
Word on the street.
Very good.
So you said you just started this summer, you late summer,
Yes,
you
sir.
jumped in. What are some of the goals you hope to accomplish this season?
Definitely. Well, obviously this season we want some cold weather to continue,
Yeah.
to be able to provide something for our customers. But the biggest goal would be, the foundation of the resort and the character and stuff. That stuff's there, and it's an amazing hill. I've skied all over the Midwest and ran resorts all over the Midwest, and the hill itself is amazing. The terrain, things like that. The biggest goal would be to just kind of create that, keep that going, but create some more fun, excitement on and off the hill, for families to come out and have, events going on, things like that for these people to enjoy besides the skiing as well.
I think that's great. And
Yeah.
you mentioned for families to come out there, maybe some families out there that haven't gotten themselves into skiing and snowboarding just yet.
Yeah.
What do you think is the best way for folks to kind of get started and get into this activity?
Well, it's amazing. I've been doing this, for over 10 years, and now that I'm having kids, it's opened a whole completely new door. Noticing, because like I said, skiing, snowboarding, it's difficult in the beginning, and then once you toss kids and stuff into it, there's a lot to do.
Sure.
So now that I have kids, I've realized this. So the goal would be to prepare. Give us a call ahead of time. We've got an amazing preschool ski school program that I've heard all about, throughout the whole summer from people that, it's perfect for your little ones. We've got lots of children's programs with this magic carpet where, we're able to expand our beginner terrain. We're able to expand our lesson programs, things like that. So I highly recommend, coming out, schedule a lesson. We've got all the rentals and gear like that. So that's the best way is, just preparation and just being ready to have some fun.
And I bet those kiddos being young, I bet they pick it up pretty quickly.
They do. They do. They're pretty resilient. I joke, I try to ski every day with the customers and
Sure.
talk with them and, get positive feedback or negative feedback to learn from. But those little kids, they bounce. I
Yeah.
tell people I get out there and it hurts sometimes,
Oh, sure.
But those little ones, they pick it up pretty quick.
That's great.
They've
And
accepted pain as their teacher.
that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Well, you got to think too, when you're learning as an adult, that's a lot longer of a way down.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
When you're a kid, you're only
Head to
falling a
ground,
cup of
yeah.
tea,
True.
Yeah.
I've got my 2.5-year-old. I've had her out these past 2 seasons, and I've already had her out this year, and she just loves it,
wonderful.
and it's a good feeling inside, to be able to provide
2.5,
that.
Is that what you said?
Yeah, she's pretty little still. That's young, but we're there all the time,
Sure.
so
Yeah,
it's
of
only
course.
makes sense.
Oh,
And
she'll be a pro.
yeah,
Yeah.
she loves the snow and cold, so it really helps.
That's great. Well, Josh, thank you so much for sharing that with us. Perfect timing. Hit the
Definitely.
slopes, get those snowboarding shoes out, and get out there, right?
Perfect.
All right, Josh. He's the general manager for Tyrol Basin, and I think that's a great place to go.
Yeah.
Justin, we're going to be back with more Wisconsin Family after the break. Stick around if you would. Thanks.
'Cause every day is a new day.
And welcome back to Wisconsin Family. Here we are at True Laser in Madison, located inside the Princeton Club on the west side of town.
They are indeed.
And we're going to talk to those folks a little bit later. They always have some great things. I always learn a lot from them. So
Yes, I'm glad you do. I do as well. I'm looking forward to it.
joining us now is Doug DeBack from the Siege Paintball in McGuanago. Doug, welcome back.
Thanks for having me again.
How are you today?
Good. How about you guys?
Oh, pretty
I'm
good. Pretty good.
I'm admiring your shirt, your gear here.
Well, I dressed up for the occasion.
Yeah.
This is a typical wear for a tournament player.
Okay.
They'll get jerseys custom made that'll show their sponsors, so
Okay.
their home fields or some of the companies that they deal with.
Sure.
Usually try to make them pretty eye-catching so that they're noticed on the field and hopefully get more sponsors.
It is eye-catching,
Wow.
and you've got a spot for your thumb, so you can pull it over your hand.
Yeah, so a spot for your thumb, so when you slide on your elbows, because there's padding in here,
Okay.
that it doesn't
It
go
don't-
up your sleeve.
That's
They've thought of everything, so.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Yeah.
It's very
So
nice.
people are getting sponsors for paintball tournaments. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it takes a while. I mean, our team plays lots of tournaments and stuff to get noticed and
Yeah.
stuff. There's got to be something in it for the suppliers
Yeah.
to get noticed. You
Sure.
can't just decide you want to play tournament paintball and everybody throws free stuff at you.
Throws money at you. Yeah.
Oh, darn,
Yeah.
that sounds great. No, that's cool. Well, go ahead.
I was
I'm
going to
sorry.
say you have a lot of stuff that you brought here with us.
Yeah.
Can you talk to us about some of the different types of gear that you have here?
Yeah, so our focus at the field is always on playing.
Sure.
And we have a good pro shop, and we stock some really good stuff, and we do a lot of special orders. And because our focus is always on playing, we always push people towards guns that keep them playing.
Sure.
So instead of looking cool and not always working, we want to keep stuff that always keeps them on the field and playing. Because playing paintball is about playing paintball.
Yeah,
Right.
you got it.
So
Odd how that happens.
yeah, so the gear has a very variety customized for the player. You know, so we have stuff like this that kind of gives you the more realistic look of a real gun. You can do mag fed with it, so it can give you that limited amount of ammo, keep you saving money, shooting less paintballs, and give you that more realistic type of environment to play in.
Okay, so I don't know a whole lot about these types of guns. So you said mag fed, and then they put the paintballs in there. Is that how that works?
Yeah, they put the paintballs in this.
Okay.
And when they want to load it, they just put it in. There's an extra one on the back.
Oh, got it. Okay.
So you can do that. It can run with one of these tanks.
Okay.
Or you can run it with a remote line. Or a smaller CO2 that fits right on the gun, so you don't have to deal with a tank at all.
Oh, wow, okay.
But if you do, does this somehow hook into it and you're
Yeah,
carrying
so
that?
there's a line in the back that basically you can just connect the
Got
tank
it.
to remotely. And
Wow.
you usually wear a tank like that on your back with a special pack or
Got it,
something like
okay.
And
that.
you were talking about tournament play. Now, is this one for tournament play?
No, this would be more for your scenario player that
Okay.
wants to, be more realistic to military or stuff like that,
Okay.
or just wants very challenging game with the mag fed. So with a limited paint ammo option, it gives it's a lot more. It's a lot harder.
Sure.
So you have a gun that is for tournament.
Yeah. So then
Let's talk about that one.
Yeah. So this would be a really high-end tournament gun,
Wow.
made by a company called Dye. Instead of like a basic steel tank like this, we have a carbon fiber tank.
Oh, wow.
That can go all the way up to 4,500 psi.
Okay.
So we're talking a crazy amount of pressure in there.
Yeah.
A gun with a electronic circuit board, and it's gonna give you all your readings on your gun as far as
that's
settings.
cool.
That's neat.
Yeah, they get more complicated than a car as far as the computer and stuff that are in it. Very
Interesting.
when you go from something like this to this, you're talking a higher rate of fire. You're talking a more accurate gun, a more efficient gun. Everything that the tournament player needs, and they're very light. So I mean, that whole setup
Oh, wow.
is not.
It really is.
Yeah.
And then give it a
the
try.
gun is all aluminum.
Nice.
So the hopper
Neat.
takes batteries
Yeah.
and it force feeds the paintballs into the gun, so you can keep up with the higher rate of fire. And again, it has all the stuff that tournament players are looking for: lightweight, so they can run fast. It holds, this will hold a couple hundred rounds, and they have
Wow.
more on their back.
Right.
So
So you're out in the field and you can stay out in the field.
Yep, and it gets very expensive too.
Yeah.
You don't decide, again, just like you don't decide you want to get into tournament paintball and you get sponsors that throw you free stuff.
Right.
You also don't decide one day you want to get into tournament paintball and buy a gun like this. This
Sure.
is my brother-in-law's gun.
Sure.
He has a nicer gun than I do, so I brought it to show you guys. And so yeah, and then
Mention too, so you these two different guns, there's different price point, there's different uses. Where do people buy these things then? And all the gear too.
yeah, we can get anything for you that is out there in the market, as well as there's a lot of online stores and stuff that can give you, a lot of these masks and stuff. I brought you more like a scenario-looking mask, but a lot of them are available in 20 or 30 different colors.
Sure.
So it's hard to have everything that
100%.
the customer wants. So
Right.
again,
But you
we do
do
a lot.
stock some things on site.
Yeah, we stock
Yeah.
a bunch of stuff, and we do a lot of special orders for people.
Yeah.
Neat.
We'll have to talk about that next time. Unfortunately, we're out of time. Doug DeBack from the Siege Paintball in McGuanago, thank you so much for joining us
Thanks,
today.
Doug.
Thanks again for having me.
Don't go away. There's more Wisconsin Family coming up right after this. Stick around.
'Cause every day is a new day.
Hello and welcome back to Wisconsin Family. Here we are at True Laser in Madison. This is the segment we've all been waiting for because
Yes.
we're going to talk to a couple of folks from True Laser. I'm joined now by Brittany Davis and co-founder Christy Newell. How are you guys?
Doing fine. How are you?
Thanks for having us. We love
Yeah.
being here.
Good.
Yeah,
Thank
absolutely.
you.
So now, I love coming here because I always learn something new. I mean, this is not something, a topic that men typically are well educated on, and so I always learn something new here. And what I'd like to know is, it seems to me that in the winter time, as it starts getting colder, you see more and more skin issues coming forward. What are some of the different challenges with skin, and what are some of the popular products that you can offer and services that you can offer to kind of help with some of those challenges?
So our skin isn't necessarily made for this cold winter weather, even though we have been spoiled this year with a nice winter. So you can pretty much completely avoid the dry skin and other irritations by microdermabrasion, as well as our pharmaceutical grade moisturizers, which we have a couple up here. So exfoliating is really good as well. Our baby foot. So that is a peel for your feet, which is really nice. We have a lot of clients who are purchasing it for Christmas gifts as well, so that's a great idea.
Great little stocking stuffer.
Yeah.
And easy to wrap. I like that.
And it's appropriate because it's for the feet.
Yes.
Stocking stuffer.
Thank you. We needed a little pun action in there, yes. So that's awesome. So let's turn a little bit. So these are some great skin gift ideas, and we are starting to get that colder weather now, unfortunately, so we need these even more. Let's turn our attention a little bit with the winter season to the actual laser hair removal. So this process is something that people can do year round, but I think most people think of it more in the summer when you're out in the sun. But are there some advantages to actually getting in here in the winter time?
So in the summer, a lot of people are out in the sun. Obviously, their skin is getting tan. And we do have lasers that still allow us to safely do laser hair removal in the summer. But as far as results and safety goes, it is nice to get it done during the winter when your melanin isn't so active.
So this is actually the better time.
Yes.
Even though it typically is probably busier in the summer, I would guess. So this is the time to do it. Because you need to stay out of the sun a little bit, or it's that activity of that's going to be bothersome. Okay, so do it in the winter. Be prepared for the summer.
See, I just learned that now. I never would have thought that.
And you guys are running something. I just want to mention because I think it's a really good deal if you've been thinking about doing hair removal or any of the services at True Laser. There's a gift card deal, right? So it's by. Say $500?
Buy a $500 gift card, and then you receive a $100 gift card. And then if you buy a $250 gift card, you receive a $50 gift card.
That's great. So what a great way to do that and get either for somebody you love. This is a great gift idea, guys, for your lady. I think a lot of women want to do this kind of thing, but it is expensive. And
that's not going to get me in the doghouse if I buy hair removal for my wife?
She'll love you for it.
Okay.
She'll love you for it. Promise.
Make note of that?
Yes. And a great way to save, too.
Awesome. So I guess the thing that I'm thinking of right now is, people, for me, I guess I don't think of where should I get hair removed because, guys are hairy, but it's true.
It is true. Yes, you need it even more.
I guess I do need
Not
it even
you specifically.
More, what's the most popular area that you see people interested in getting hair removed from?
Actually, we do everything from head to toe. So I can't even say that there's a more popular area because we see it all. Seriously, the only thing that we cannot do is eyebrows, but we do ear edges, face, men and women, everything, body, any unwanted hair that has pigment to it, we can remove. So.
Head to toe.
Yes, head to toe.
That's good to know. You do have a little hair.
We do toes. We do toes.
People get very upset about their toe hair. I know this.
And it's awesome.
So that's really neat. Let's talk a little bit. You've been talking about men and women, and we've talked about this before. But what typical clients do you see in here? Do you see a lot of men? Do you see a lot of women? What's your
we do. We see, it is definitely more women than men, but we see women, men, teens. We see, what's come up a lot lately is transgender clients, and so they have some requirements of hair removal that need to be done in that process too. So that has become very popular. And then what's cool about that is making them feel comfortable and that they're, and then also people with PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome. That's an ongoing problem with women with hair growth then because their hormones are imbalanced. And so there are a lot of women, and nobody would ever know them walking around with full beards.
Wow.
That it is life-changing for them, and it's the coolest thing ever. And they do have to do ongoing treatments. It's not like done forever.
Right.
It's more of a maintenance as time goes on, but the improvement is like smooth skin and having to do it a few times a year versus walking around with a full beard.
Right,
And so
a
it's
difference in their confidence.
Oh,
sure.
goodness.
I mean,
Yeah.
that would be a tough thing to have to overcome, but you can do it. That's what's
yes,
so nice.
we can, and it's so cool to be able
Very
to do that and to
rewarding.
help them.
Yeah,
Mhm.
very good.
Absolutely.
So there's a variety of different places where you can get procedures like this done. What sets True Laser apart in this area?
A few things. I would say our equipment that we use, Candela lasers, state of the art. We actually just upgraded all of those to their latest, greatest machine. So we're pretty
wow.
excited about that.
The technology, yeah.
Yes, yes. And so very, very effective. The other thing is we've been in business 17 years now, so lots of experience. We also, I mean, because we specialize in laser hair removal, that's what we do every day, all day long. We're like really good at it.
Yes.
A lot of collective experience there, I think, too.
Yeah. And then also just the staff. I mean, just that caring. And when we talked about the different types of clients, what, just how they care and want to make them feel more comfortable while they're here, and let them know that they're not alone in what they've got going on. So
I think that's smart. I really like how you mentioned that because I think that's an important point to hit on. Is that there are a lot of other places that do laser treatments, but this is exclusively what you do.
Yes.
So to go somewhere where they're doing all these different things and they just don't see as many clients. You guys see clients all day long for this exact thing. So I like that you said that.
thanks.
The other thing, really quick before we go, let's talk just a little bit about price. So
Yes.
there's a great deal, but what's the price range like, or is it really expensive?
It's almost as affordable as waxing, but eventually
Really?
it gets less as time goes on, that you don't have to do it as often, and eventually can become permanent where you're not doing it at all. There are areas that I don't have to have treated anymore. So it's really cool. The one thing I wanted to mention about that is there's a lot of things out there now. All of a sudden laser hair removal is being discounted like 50 to 70% off, and then we're hearing that the prices are 4 times as much, and then they're 70% off.
Yeah.
That's
So
kind
we-
of the trick, isn't it?
Yes.
The mind trick.
And so we really are going with the everyday low pricing, that we
Sure.
are just,
Like
here's
that.
where we're
Yeah.
at.
Doesn't
And-
matter which day you walk in,
Yes,
decide
yes.
to do it, you're going to get the best price.
Yes,
Right.
I
exactly.
think that's a great philosophy.
That's awesome.
Well, thank you so much for having us, Christy and Brittany. It's been a pleasure being here, so we appreciate it.
Oh, thanks for being here.
We also want to thank all of our guests for joining us. We want to thank you for watching. Please join us next time on Wisconsin Family.
Every day is a new beginning. Shine your light. It's a day